Sports. My name's Dan Celia. It's great to be here. Kind of a holiday week. I know I'm looking forward to the Thanksgiving weekend. And this week, it is hopefully a time. I have been traveling every single week. This is the first week I'm not traveling. Then after this week, I'm 3 weeks straight traveling. So I'm looking forward to trying to relax a little bit this week. It's the first week I've been home in a long time for the whole week. So I'm very excited about that. Anyway, I hope everybody is going to. There's a lot of people off today, and I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy the weekend. What I'd like to know, too, as you call in, is what are you thankful for this week? Why don't you share that with our listeners? If you have something short and specific that you can tell us about, maybe before you ask your question. If you call in at 888-589-8840, you can share with us what you're thankful for. Maybe you're just thankful the election's over. Maybe you're able to share some of the goodness that you find even after the election, if the election did not work out to be what you had hoped or anticipated. We'd love to hear about that. Of course, I also want to mention, as we think about Thanksgiving, of course, we've got to be thinking about Christmas, right? Here's the deal. This year's AFA Christmas buttons, they're great this year. They say, as a matter of fact, my wife got her a box of them thanks to Jim Stanley, and has given most of them out. But Jesus, it says, Jesus, he came for you. Merry Christmas. Of course, we want to encourage people to say Merry Christmas. I was very encouraged yesterday. My wife and I went into Target, at least the Target where I am, and they had a huge hanging from the ceiling letters saying Merry Christmas. So I sure appreciated that. It was good to see it. We're seeing less and less of that. So that was good news. Look, the culture, more than ever is trying to remove Christ from Christmas. AFA is taking a stand to try to keep Christ back into Christmas. And one of the ways you can do that is wear your Christmas button. Now, listen, if you haven't ordered them, you need to do it, because last year, if I'm not mistaken, it was either last year or the year before, they couldn't send any more out. They just ran out of them. So you need to call and order. My wife wears them on her handbag and one on her blouse. And when people ask her for one, she has some in her handbag and she gives them one. So, or ask where she got them. So it's a great, great way to evangelize and to share Jesus during this time of year. And you can order them by going to 877-927-4917. 877-927-4917, or just visit afr.net and order your Christmas buttons. I hope everybody's going to do that. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you do it. Don't let them run out on you. We need to get that Merry Christmas and the fact that Jesus came for us out there more than ever. Well, U.S. companies are scaling back based on investment plans. When you look at investment plans of U.S. companies, they are pulling back and have been since the recession. But they believe, most American companies believe, that the signals are more trouble for an economic recovery, if you can actually call what we've had an economic recovery. And so they are pulling back on investment strategies, what they're going to do to grow, expand their business, hire people. And as a matter of fact, more and more companies announcing every single day about them laying off, not hiring. We're starting to see it in the medical device products, cutbacks, layoffs as a result of Obamacare. We have been hearing it through the defense budgets. Tens of thousands of people laying off. Small businesses not hiring or laying off, on and on. Tomorrow, the U.S., as a matter of fact, at 10 o'clock, we do get some numbers today on housing. They're going to be existing existing home sales for October. And they'll be coming out. Those numbers come out just in about 45 minutes or so. So we'll watch for those. On tomorrow, we get a release on data for housing starts for October, what housing starts were for the month of October. University of Michigan on Wednesday releases its final reading on consumer sentiment for November. So we'll get an idea of what consumers think lie ahead for November. Frankly, I've been very surprised by what has come out to date, but we'll watch that closely. Of course, Thursday, the markets are closed for Thanksgiving Day, and on Friday, the markets close early. They close at 1 o'clock. The bond markets close at 2 on Friday. So shortened week this week. We didn't see a lot of volume last week. I don't expect to see much volume this week. For those of you who follow me on my website, I will be putting an alert out. Now, I want to make myself clear. I've got some stocks that I'm excited about. I'm watching very closely that I think are going to be very good buys in the upcoming months. They may even be good buys now, or I wouldn't put an alert out on them. But I want to make it clear. I'm going to say this in the alert, but I do want to say it. I'm not a buyer right now, and I don't think we should be rushing into the market unless it's money you can forget about for 20 years. I am not in any hurry to get into this market. I would like to see some consistent uptick in stocks with a little bit of volume in particular companies before we start moving into it. Now, many people have asked me lately about hedging against inflation. Should you hedge against inflation? Of course you should. We have had inflation now for 3 years, folks. We're going to continue to have inflation. We are seeing the dollar continue to be trashed, and we are feeling that in the cost, in the quality of our living standard, which has been diminished, particularly middle income. We are seeing our poverty rate continuing to go up as the dollar value continues to go down. One of the most interesting things that is happening right now as we speak is that there is some optimism in the markets. As a matter of fact, all the stock futures in positive territory this morning. Do you know why? Because of upbeat remarks given over the weekend by President Barack Obama on budget talks. And strong earnings is the other reason from some home improvement retailers like Lowe's. So all of that is boosting stock futures. President Obama said over the weekend, I'm confident we can get a fiscal situation deal dealt with. The fiscal situation dealt with. Obama told Sunday news conference in Bangkok. I'm confident